Sa Jeremiah 29:11. At yan po ay isang propetang pinaniniwalaan ng Muslim, Hudyo at ng Kristiyano. And I like, Mr. President, narrating, explaining, declaring that verse because it tells us that the Almighty has a plan. But more than that, it teaches us that there can be no plan without a vision. Quite a long time ago, the Americans came to the Philippines, and we have to give it to them and to their military. Marunong silang pumili ng pwepwestohan ng kanilang mga facilities. Whether we talk about Fort McKinley na naging Fort Bonifacio sa Taguig, whether you talk about the air base in Pasay, whether you talk about Clark, Subic, you talk about Baguio City or La Union, or even the areas in Visayas and Mindanao, marunong pumili po ang mga Amerikano. These areas once thought about to be purely for military, defense, security purposes, found a win-win during the time of a military officer who became president, President Ramos. It's been particularly special to the city of Taguig because the development of Fort Bonifacio sparked a new central business district. Nagbigay po ng venue para sa vision ng Panginoon sa aming city. Before the pandemic, there were a twin focus by the Duterte administration, which was clean up Boracay and also develop Clark so that we can decongest Metro Manila. Halos lahat po ng leaders natin from Bulacan, Tarlac, Pampanga, Central Zone supported that. Katabi ko po si former Majority Leader Joel Villanueva. He was very supportive of that. Mr. President, ang naging desisyon ng dating Pangulo ay huwag payagan magbenta ng lupa sa loob ng Clark. I saw the logic personally as his running mate, as a senator then, and even as a DFA secretary during that time. I told him that there were many ways to skin a cat. I pointed at Pasig, Rizal, and the Ortigas family. As you know, yung Kapitolyo used to be in Pasig, and for the longest time, may stalemate between the people who donated the land and between the city and the province. But one time, wisdom upon them, nagkaroon ng agreement. Isosoli yung part ng lupa sa pamilyang nag-donate, but part of it, i-develop, and then part of it, cash for school buildings, and then i-redo or i-build yung sa fiscal's office. So nagkaroon ng win-win, no? In fact, ang topic namin ni President Duterte noon, we were also looking at Camp Crame and Camp Aguinaldo. In the meantime, and although for another bill, nandito yung former chairman ng BCDA, Vince Dizon, he supported President Duterte at wag magbenta ng lupa sa loob. At that time, former chairman of BCDA, Chairman Delfin Lorenzana, was our DND, and he really fought tooth and nail for more representation and better benefits for the military from the BCDA since sa kanila namang galing po yung lupa. I was arguing with them that ang problema nyo, pag hindi kayo nagbenta sa loob at napakalaki ng Clark, sa labas ng Clark mamimili ang ating mga malalaking kumpanya sa real estate. And as we've seen yung kanilang mga township, no, I will not name all of them, but yung ating biggest real estate companies in the country are, have stepped up in the kind of development. Bottom line po, tama ang naging prediction, iilan lang ang nag-develop sa loob ng Clark na 25 years, pero namili sa labas. And even though magaganda ang development ngayon sa labas ng Clark, the reality is, nagta-traffic na rin. So there is a consensus, a move to do this, and then nadagdagan pa po nung pinasa nung Kongreso yung pagkakaroon ng special economic zone sa Bulacan at bagong airport. I think most, if not all of us agree that many states in the US have 2 airports. If I'm not mistaken, New York has 2 airports. I think Washington has 2 airports. So if we develop Bulacan and Clark correctly, it could really be a twin engine of development in our country, and it could really pull the density or the massive urbanization out of Metro Manila and really spur development in Central Luzon. So, hindi po ako magpapakahaba, but I'd like to thank Senator Estrada and Senator Tolentino, who are actually the authors of this bill. I'd like to thank the new chairman of the Committee on Government Corporations, Senator Mark Villar, not only for supporting, agreeing, but because lumaki po siya sa negosyo, lumaki po siya na I think his masteral is also in business, right? So, like Palawan, Romblon, of course Cebu is highly developed, Iloilo is highly developed, getting there. But imagine if every single island we have of that size, no, Palawan, Romblon, Cebu, Bohol, Iloilo, is a separate Hong Kong and Singapore. And imagine if every region of the country is just like the United States, na iba ang LA sa Chicago, iba ang Chicago sa New York, iba ang New York sa Washington, D.C.